Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another segment of Read With Me. I am your host, Kelly Michelle. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy that your curiosity caused you to click on this link. This is a channel that focuses on reading together separately. It is a virtual book club. I choose a book. We will read that book throughout the month. I will post 3 times a week my thoughts and reflections, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, regarding the chapter or chapters that we read. The goal is for us to finish 12 books by the end of the year. And we are in the midst of finishing our book. Well, not quite finishing yet, but we're in the midst of reading our June book. And our June book is The Garden Within by Dr. Anita Phillips. And so I want to encourage you, if you have not picked up this book, pick up the book. It is not too late. You can go back and watch the previous episodes where I talked about the previous chapters and catch up. So before we dive into today's chapter that we will be reviewing, I just wanted to go over this disclaimer, which is I am in no way trying to present these ideas as my own. I am simply sharing with you what I got as takeaways from reading the assigned chapter or chapters that we read. So without further ado, let's dive into the chapter that we read for this segment. And it is chapter 8, and it is titled Shaky Ground. And just to go back a little bit, this book is divided up into 3 parts. We already finished part 1, and now we're in the midst of part 2. And part 2 is titled Deeply Rooted. And as I already stated, chapter 8, which we're going over today, is titled Shaky Ground. All right, so here are my thoughts and takeaways from chapter 8. Number 1, the 3 dimensions of trauma are event, harm, and effects. Number 2, emotional regulation is the ability of an individual to modulate an emotion or set of emotions. Number 3, everything happens for a reason, but it's not always a good reason. And number 4, the distinction between effects of the trauma and events of the trauma is the effect is the wound and the event leaves behind. It's the effect of the wound that the event leaves behind. And so again, I want to really encourage you to read, of course, the entire book, but specifically we're talking about chapter 8, to really read this book, read chapter 8, because as I was reading it, this is the type of book I have to sit with it. I really have to sit and ponder and think about, the concepts and ideas that are being presented in this book and really reflect on them. And I hope that you do the same. And so I want to emphasize number 3. It says, everything happens for a reason, but it's not always a good reason. And when I read that line, like I just said, I had to sit with it, because you've heard this statement all the time. Everything happens for a reason. And you can apply it to any type of situation or circumstance in your life, because everything does happen for a reason. But what I like that she also offers is that it's not always a good reason. And I think sometimes when we say that to someone, oh, everything happens for a reason, it's maybe a way of us, or even saying it to ourselves. If we're in a conversation with someone else or saying it to ourselves, it's a way of us trying to maybe make things feel better for us. like, oh, everything happens for a reason. But even though that is the case, sometimes it's not always a good reason. And I think it's so good for us to be able to acknowledge that. And because this is a faith-based book, and as I talked about in another segment, that it really intertwines, the natural with her being a doctor and science, and it also ties the spiritual, the faith aspect of it. So many times in the faith realm, or I should say the faith world, sometimes we say these type of phrases to kind of put a band-aid on it. But I think it's really good, again, that she acknowledged that things do happen for a reason, but that doesn't mean that it's always a positive reason. And it's okay that it's not a positive reason. It doesn't mean that you have a lack of faith. It doesn't mean that you are not walking in faith, or lacking, faith at all. I know I'm using the word faith a lot, but I think sometimes we tie those things together, of a lack of faith, or not walking in faith, or not believing in faith. And it isn't any of those things. It's just simply sometimes things in life that happen are just not good. But when you have those things happen, it's all about, what do you do next? How do you move forward? And so again, definitely encourage you to read chapter 8. Those are my takeaways that I took from the chapter. Next time, we will be going over chapter 9. And so before I end this segment, I always like to end with just a couple of things. One, I want to really encourage you to take some time to read today. Read a good story, something that's going to sharpen your mind, something that is going to cause you to learn something new. And then secondly, if you are enjoying this book club, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I would love for this book club to really grow. And so I need your help in order for that to happen. So share with your friends, share with your family members that enjoy reading this link to this channel so that they can join in with us. Thank you so very much for joining me today. And until next time, happy reading.